You're watching BCTV, Brantford's Community Access Station.
Sayin. Lisa Wheelis with my girls, as Patty says. Opinionated show, thought-provoking, and hopefully very inspiring. We have a good show coming up for you today. But first, I always like to start off with our featured little drink glass, and this is Dodie's concoction.
This is it's actually very pure. We have a kind of a theme going with the food and beverages for today, and the theme is chocolate. Ooh. And I found this product, if you will. It is chocolate-covered, pretzel-flavored vodka.
That's a mouthful.
Now, I didn't put anything else in this because it was so good. I didn't want to mess it up. You can make recipes with this. One of the recipes on their website, the company is called The Wave, and one of the recipes was 1.5 ounces of this vodka and 4 ounces of cream soda, which I thought might be good.
That would be good.
But when you taste it, you're not going to want to mess with it.
And maybe a garnish of a chocolate-covered pretzel on top.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Ooh, pretty.
So, cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
So we're drinking straight vodka, huh?
Mm-hmm. So let's see if the words come out right later on.
Yummy.
And in honor of our upcoming guest today, who's I think we all can relate to. She's a busy attorney, professional life, and a wife and a mother, and also keeps connected to her passion as a musician singer. So I can't wait to talk to her again. But on that line, do you all stay connected to your passions, and would you stay connected to your passion if it meant going in debt? Because that's a big excuse, people, that, I don't have the money to do that. I mean, what's more important? Do we max up the credit cards?
I love dancing. That's a passion. Yeah. And dancing, you can spend a lot of money on dance lessons.
Yeah.
Like the Arthur Murray, Fred Astaire, whatever. But if you're in a place where you don't have that kind of money, there are places you can go along the shoreline here where you could, like the community centers have clubs that meet once a month, and they have for $10. You go, you get a free dance lesson. It's part of your $10, admission fee, and then DJ or a band, and you dance in the evening. So you don't have to go top line, a lot of lessons, a lot of money to enjoy that passion.
And I think that's a good point that you're making, Tony. There are ways to fulfill your passion without spending a lot of money. I mean, unfortunately, my passion is traveling the world, but there's still
you could go
ways
stay in
hostels,
still out of Cape Cod.
And there's still, I'm on all the flight alerts of when there's today, there's discounts every other day on a different airline. So there are ways that if you really want something bad enough to keep connected. What about you girls?
I wouldn't go into that.
Well, I think my passion is opening up new companies all the time.
Oh yeah, well, I'm guilty of that too.
And that doesn't come cheap.
No.
So it's a risk, but I feel I think I'm a risk taker. Yeah. It doesn't it's not hard for me.
You really have to be a risk taker.
Yeah.
There's no reward if there's no risk there.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to chime in on that?
Yeah, I'm not really sure exactly what my passion. I mean, there's a lot of things I enjoy and I'm driven to want to do. I don't know that I would call it my passion. One of the things that I really enjoy is music, which is why it totally ties in with our guest today. But I love concert going. I've always loved concert going, and nowadays it seems like you just can't get a ticket to a concert or to the theater.
Oh, $150, $200.
But, and then
You
I've been
can't
known
even
to
get a
pay.
ticket. The moment the
Yeah.
box
Yeah.
office opens,
Yeah.
they're
I
shut out.
Yeah, and I've been known to spend lots of money on concert tickets, and I kind of have my little concert lineup for this summer. Some I've gotten very
But
reasonable.
that's
Others
nice, though,
I've
that you hold on to that, because
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
tell you, as
Yeah.
a life coach, when I talk to a lot of people that are going through any kind of transition, or all of a sudden they're an empty nester and they realize, my gosh, I've just given the last 20 years to my children, and now they're gone, and I'm not connected anymore.
You don't
to
even
my
know what.
passion.
Yeah, you don't even know what it is anymore.
It's really
Yeah.
important to, I
Yeah.
think, stay somewhat connected.
Yeah, I
even
wouldn't
if
go
on
into
different
debt
levels.
for it though, because obviously I have a family. It would
Right.
be irresponsible. And
Right.
But if it was something that was for a higher being outside of myself, then
Right.
it would be maybe
I
worth
totally
going into
agree.
debt for. But
And another thing is, juggling daily life is a constant battle for many of us with kids and work and whatever else. But a new study just revealed that the most, which I'm always fascinated by, people's routines, the most influential people in the world, like Richard Branson's, those kind of people, they had a survey of how they start their mornings, and they have a regular routine. I guess that's part of the interest, is having some regular routine. 60% have exercising when they first wake up in the
How
morning.
many?
60%.
6-0?
Yes.
Wow.
41. These are the highly successful, most influential people around the world. I think there was 25 of them that they interviewed. 41% schedule family time very early in the morning. 36% checking emails, which surprised me because I know that's a big time waster, but we all do it. And 32% getting the news, followed by 10% meditation, 9% pet time, 6% reading time, and 5% waking up listening to music.
But here's what I want to know: how many make their bed after they get up? How many
Very
of those
important.
people?
I'm a real
Are you a
advocate
bed
of that.
maker?
I'm a bed maker.
Absolutely.
Are you a
That's
bed
in my.
maker?
Oh, it's
I
kind
like
of throw
it.
the sheets over the pillows and throw the fluffy
Oh, that's
pillows.
the
down.
best.
That's
the
what
way
I
you
want to
make
know
it.
about.
I'm
all
not
the
tucking
successful
anything
influential
or
people.
That's not
smoothing
good. I
anything.
think that is
Do they
really,
make
really
beds?
important.
Why?
It's. I have a whole chapter written in my first book.
Really?
At least you've
There's a
accomplished
whole
something in the
chapter.
day.
You sleep better, and it's the anchor of your bedroom. And when having that, even if just the anchor item in each room, where in your office your anchor item would be the desktop, just having one, even if it looked like a bomb went off the rest of your house, if you have your anchor items, it offers you serenity when you go into
Very
that room.
unfeng
And
shui.
bedroom, and you actually sleep better. And I can go on and on. I have a whole chapter on the importance of cleaning your bed. Don't get me started.
Oh boy.
I guess
I didn't realize that when I asked that
I would
question.
say that, but I would agree with that.
But yeah.
Okay.
Any other
guess I'm gonna have to
topics
change
anyone
my
wants
routine.
to bring up? Should we get into anything as far as Kanye or Judge?
Well, what's up with the GoFundMe?
What? He started a GoFundMe?
He started a
what?
GoFundMe
If you haven't
because he's
heard,
$53
Kanye
million
West
in
is
debt.
broke. So yeah, he's
Only
started
married
But
to a woman
Kanye
that's worth
West
$100
married a
million.
gravy train, so
Yeah.
Kanye West is not that broke. Let's just go
Yes.
ahead and get
And
that.
it was announced recently that he stated he is the equivalent of William Shakespeare this year. He's William Shakespeare.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I totally. Why?
I wonder if he's missing his
that,
meds in the
he's that
morning.
important.
He's missing his
Right.
meds probably throughout the day, not just the
He
morning.
must have can't afford them,
he's-
I guess.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you have, celebrities who are surrounded by people who just tell them what
They wanna
they
hear.
want to hear, and they just lose reality, the whole entire perspective of reality.
But can you imagine being
His
married
poor
to
mother.
that personality?
Think about what his poor mother. His poor mother must be so embarrassed.
She's
God
not-
rest her
she's
soul.
not
she
around.
passed away.
Oh,
Passed
thank
away.
goodness.
And,
'cause the poor
and
woman
that's
would
when
be
I think he
mortified.
kind of went off the deep end. I think she's just like, keep him in line.
Well, she meant that the woman didn't have to be tortured by. all
Yeah,
of
she
it.
didn't have to be. I would
Actually,
be
we were
mortified if
she
that was
said
my
it that way.
son. I
Anybody
would want to
that-
smack him one and
Anybody
say,
that follows
"Shame
pop
on you."
news, I think we were just talking about that. It was sort of since the death of his mother that he kind of spiraled
Oh,
down.
Yeah,
all right.
she
died
See, I don't follow. I'm
Like
a
2
country
years
list.
ago,
I'm a
I
country
think.
girl. I have no clue.
It was it was a tragedy. She was young and she had I think an
Oh.
operation something and she died. Yeah, so it came
okay.
quickly.
Anyways, on that fun note,
And we're not organized. Our beds aren't made. And there we go.
That's
why we're not
Has
successful.
it all together. So we'll be right back. welcome back to Just Sayin'. So who says you can't have it all? Our next guest is living proof that it really can be done, and we're gonna learn the ins and outs of maybe how to juggle that. But so I'm really proud to introduce. We have a practicing attorney, a wife and mom of 2 boys, the lead singer and keyboardist of a popular band. Welcome, Ronnie White.
Thank you very much.
Hey, Ronnie.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
And I should mention that Ronnie and I actually go way back.
Yes, we do.
She used to work with me at my acting studio in Milford, Connecticut.
Right.
When you first moved to Connecticut, I think it was a
That
while ago.
It was back very close to when I first graduated undergrad, and I moved up here. Yeah, we worked together for about a year or so, I think.
And I tell you, she hasn't changed a bit. This is, and it's been 20 years or so. I don't know. First off, Ronnie, it's obvious that you've accomplished so much. I mean, as a lifelong musician and singer, because I remember watching you and going to gigs back then too. Yeah. And you've worked as a voice teacher for years. Then, as life would have it, you were pregnant and going back to law school.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, whoever says they can't do it will have no excuses after you watch this segment. But while you were maintaining a musical career all along, I mean, how do you juggle? Is there any tips to staying sane with handling so much?
Don't think about it. Actually, that's really it, because
Just doing.
Yeah, and when I think about all the things I do now, and I think about what I did to get through law school, I'm very tired just thinking about it, frankly. But it's just a matter of really figuring out what it is that you want to do and pacing it through your day and your week. And you just can't bite off more at one time than you think you could do. You have to do it in chunks. And what I mean by that is that when I went back to school, I knew I wanted to get a law degree. The concept of that was so overwhelming to me that if I had thought about what I needed to do to get there, I don't think I ever would have been able to do it. But, it's just a matter, like I said, scheduling and pacing, and I was able to, make it work for me. And I put myself through law school, actually teaching voice and gigging. So
Because that's what I was going to say. Your life, I mean, when you have something that's in your DNA, and in your case, it really is music. She was, I always remember, a fantastic pianist, keyboardist, singer. Could you imagine going through, like you said, a heavy schedule of law school and whatever else without having that connection to your soul?
No, and frankly, I wouldn't have been able to do it without that, because the music really is that's my sanity. Right. And everybody has their happy place. For me, it's performance. Right. And the rest of it was very important for me too. But whenever I would need to decompress or unwind, where others may meditate or others may read, for me, I would go to an open mic.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you,
stress relief.
Yeah, what we were saying before, it's really therapeutic to keep connected.
It truly is.
Now, what's your schedule like now with the music and with working and everything? Because you're working full time,
I am.
and then
I have a 9-year-old as well. So,
let's throw him in.
Let's
throw him in.
One who's almost 25, one who's 9.
Yeah.
And so my 25-year-old is obviously out of the house. And my little guy.
You're lucky. A lot of them
that's
have
not
that.
always
I know. I should say thank you.
I have quite a few friends that have their 25-year-olds at
Tell
home.
us
Not
about
me.
your professional career as a lawyer. What type of lawyer?
So I am a healthcare attorney. I work for United Healthcare, actually, so a large national insurance organization. And I practice in their government programs lines of business, primarily in Medicaid. And I work with some dual eligible issues. And basically, I support several health plans in the Northeast. And then I have certain areas of subject matter expertise that the Medicaid line of business folks will come to me for. So, like claims issues and operations issues and things like that. So it's, we're functionally and regionally aligned on my team, but it's a very demanding and extremely interesting job.
Yeah,
healthcare.
You always say about giving back too. That's part of your.
Well, hang on. So how do you? Back to my original question.
Yeah.
So how do you? So you're working full time. You've got the kids.
I am. Yes, I do.
Kids.
Right.
So then, how often are you playing? Like, how does that work out?
So I gig anywhere between 2 and 5 times a month.
Okay. Weekends, right?
Weekends primarily. In the summertime, though, we do a lot of summer concert series, so those are during.
Is your husband at home with the 9-year-old?
When I'm gigging, yes.
Okay.
Yes. So he's the one thing I can say is it would be virtually impossible for me to do this without a supportive spouse who basically, his only gripe is actually carrying the heavy equipment into my car. Other than that, he's very.
He's your roadie.
He doesn't want to be my roadie, but yeah. So he gets me out of the house, and then the rest of the band members get everything into the gig. But it's again just a matter of scheduling. I mean, what my days generally look like is early mornings with my son. He goes off to school. I work. I'm actually incredibly fortunate to be able to telecommute. So I work from home. And when I'm not traveling, I'm in the house. I have a home office, so I get my son on the bus in the morning. I'm working for the normal work day, and then basically from about 5 to 8 on a normal day, 5 to 8:30 is the time that I'm with my husband and my son. And then in the evenings, I'm usually either working or I'm doing band business. I have rehearsals at my house once a week, once every other week, and then I gig Friday and Saturday nights. And the weekends when I'm not gigging, that time is spent with my family.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You're the keyboardist and the lead singer. What's the name of your band?
It is called All Funked Up.
Oh,
that's fun.
Now, does your son, is he playing, the little one? Is he
playing?
Like, is he doing any instruments?
Yes,
is he starting
actually,
to jam
he
with
is.
you?
My younger son at the age of 4 started asking for an electric guitar, and he's been
Cool.
playing it now for 3 years, and he's actually he's quite impressive for a 9-year-old. So,
That's awesome.
And did your older son play too? Did he?
My older son plays guitar as well.
Nice.
So, yeah, and
Keep it in the family. So you got to do family band when they get
yeah,
right?
yeah. But I think my older son, periodically will show up at a gig and say, "Wow, Mom, you're really not embarrassing."
That's a good thing.
Hopefully, my younger son, he has a little bit higher opinion at this point because he's young enough to still think I'm impressive. So, yeah.
So what kind of music? So funk. I'm gonna do so.
Funk, yeah, it's funk, R&B, and groove, and basically anything that has a nice groove to it. We do 70s through today, and recognizable, danceable.
Yeah.
Let's have a
We
Now
play
we have the
local
entertainment.
clubs.
sorry, we have an entertainment now.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a
drink
website
and
or a
everything.
Facebook page if someone wanted to check out your band and
I
where
have.
you're coming up?
Yeah, I have both. We have a website. Do you want me to?
Yeah, you can say it.
Yeah, it's,
we'll post it too.
It's www.allfunkedup.com, but there's no E in the funked. It's FUNKD.
Okay. I wanted that.
And and you could find us on Facebook the same way. It's All Funked Up, FUNK''D.
And do you play all over mostly Southern Connecticut or the shoreline or?
We have 2 areas. We play from Stratford up to about Madison, but we're expanding up into the Norwich area as well. So shoreline up and down.
That's
And we also
fantastic.
play inland a bit. We play some clubs in Plainville and Southington, Hartford, occasionally East Hartford. So we've got a following up in that area as well.
That's
So,
fantastic.
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
You've accomplished
Yeah.
so much, and I love the fact that this is just next. What you have, what you want to do, you just
Sure.
put it into your bucket.
Yeah.
Speaking of buckets, do you have anything on your bucket list? I mean, it just seems like you're living your dreams.
Well, it's
Future plans?
really, I think just a little more traveling with my family. As,
Quality
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Quality time matters.
There we go to that balance too. You got to find that balance.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that was terrific.
Thank you.
Well,
you
I have
so
to
much,
add though,
Maria.
looking at you, so I'm sitting so close to her, and you remind me of like a Betty Davis, a Joe. Look at her.
Yeah,
She got the
she's
beautiful
gorgeous.
blue eyes, the hair. I can't wait to see you
You
play.
can see my face go as red as my hair now.
No, but I want to. You must be so cool. Like
Yeah.
you're.
I'm telling you,
It's,
look.
it's a lot of fun.
Look
I
at
love it.
Yeah.
her, all funked up. She is
Yeah.
phenomenal.
But that's what's keeping her young. It's
I
the
know.
music.
It is.
Well, and
That's
it's-
why isn't
it's staying connected to whatever her
To the
passion
passion,
is music.
yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So that's the key.
Yeah, it is. It is. You have to keep your passion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And on that note, thank you so much, Ronnie.
Thank
the best
you.
of luck to you. Go check it out. All
Thank you,
Funked Up.
Ronnie.
Thank
I'm
you.
Got a
coming.
club near you.
Excellent.
We'll be right back. And welcome back to Just Sayin'. And speaking of our mailbag and Facebook, we always encourage our viewers to post something on Facebook. If you have a comment, a question, anything about today's show, and also chime in on some of our hot topics. How do you spend your mornings? Do you have a specific morning routine? Since we discovered that does make you successful and inspiring.
And if you make your bed.
And if you make your bed, don't get me started on that again. But anyways,
She looks at me.
we have something really delicious in front of us. Dodie, who is our food sponsor today?
Well, we're keeping our chocolate theme here today, okay? And I discovered a place called the Take the Cake. That's the name of the bakery. Okay, Take the Cake. It's at 2458 Boston Post Road, right here, right in Guilford. And the owner is Nancy Purcell.
She's lovely.
She's fabulous. She's been in business about 26 years, since 1986, okay? And I discovered her because I was invited to dinner, and I was in charge of dessert, and I wanted to step it up a notch, and I went in there, and she had samples of this Italian pistachio cherry chocolate torte.
Stop.
Yum.
And it was insane. It was so good, and it's flour.
Is that
It's the little one.
one?
It's the little one, and it was really. It's also gluten free. Okay, it's also gluten free. And so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a piece. And then I'm going to pass it down.
That's neat. She wraps and you can buy individual
And
slices
you can-
of cake.
Yep.
And that's a hefty slice of cake too.
That's
Just take
nice.
this down.
Yeah, I left a
this is
couple of them.
Nice. That's a nice big
Yeah.
thick
So you
slice.
can
This
buy it by
really
the
is a
slice.
premier bakery on the
That's
shoreline.
nice to just buy a piece
Lovely.
of cake.
Well, and the other thing you can do is buy different ones.
Thanks, Lisa.
You know, you don't have you can buy one whole.
Right, but you can get different
But you can
cakes
get
and make it like
samples
one.
and-
To
and
put them all
yes.
together, make one
Because
big
what
cake.
if somebody
Okay,
doesn't
we
like
have-
it?
Yeah, you
So
could say, look,
buy-
I cut
you
the
have
cake in
different
pieces.
flavors.
We have chocolate
pretty smart.
raspberry,
That's that
which is
one.
that one.
Nice.
White chocolate mousse,
Ooh, that's
which
nice.
is the one next to it. Black satin mousse, which is this one on the end. The Italian cherry and pistachio torte is the one in the middle, and vanilla passion. Okay, and she's fabulous. She gives back to the community. The kids who she hires are Guilford Youth mentees from the mentor program, and I'm a mentor, so I was very excited that she employs those kids to do dishwashing and counter help. They were telling me no preservatives. She doesn't use any preservatives. No food
She's the real
color.
deal.
Yep, all natural ingredients. They make their own lemon curd with fresh lemon juice and everything. It's all their own stuff. She also has a sister who has a florist in Branford. It's called Cynthia's, and they kind of advertise and market and
This
things
is
like
amazing.
that. Isn't that
Yeah,
incredible?
this is amazing.
That's yummy.
This one is my
And I'm not a huge chocolate fan, but this is like so
favorite.
Taste this
Torte.
one.
We'll have to bring
you have
Ronnie.
the torte.
Want to come up and try the cake?
Come try the
Erica,
cake.
you want to put some on there
come
for
join
Ronnie?
us.
Yeah.
It's so good.
You have to
Ronnie,
test
which
it
one
out.
do you want to try?
Chocolate, of course.
The chocolat
The chocolate torte? Sure.
or the raspberry chocolate?
The raspberry is actually really good too.
Their website is.
Whichever one you want to choose.
They're
for me,
all
because
really
they're
They're
Oh my
insane.
God, they're
They're
so
insane. They're so
good.
good.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Their website is www.originaltakethecake.com. And again,
You know,
they're
when you say websites, you don't need to say www.
I guess
anymore.
not. Everybody knows that, huh?
That's like so 10 years ago.
Oh well, that's where I am.
Oh, that's okay. They're always so helpful in there, and I love their fruit torte.
They are so good.
And it's so pretty with all their fresh fruit
Yep.
that they put on it.
Yeah, she had
Ronnie, what do you think?
incredible.
What do you think?
It's awesome.
Isn't it
Isn't it
great?
something?
It's really good.
Aren't you
Who
glad
doesn't
you
like
were
chocolate?
there?
I mean, really,
You know, and
right?
It was a good day. That's right.
And since Ronnie's here too, I figured we would just wrap up our takeaways that we were inspired from Ronnie's segment, which I think was really interesting. Number one, that it really is possible to have a professional career while following a passion and raising a family and being a wife to your husband. And I think a lot of it is just having those routines and just doing it and not putting so much thought into it because it will scare you.
Yes.
I wasn't sure what my passion was, but I think it's eating.
And also, so I think some of our
Stay connected to that.
some of our takeaways also from Ronnie's segment is it's never too late to go back to school, even after you have kids. Correct.
Right.
And I know something we didn't get into too much in the segment, but I know for a fact Ronnie is a real advocate in giving back. and you do a lot of pro bono work, as does Cindy, I believe, which is really nice for the community. So I think whatever you give out comes back.
Right.
So we're giving out good vibes for this bakery.
Yes.
That's what
Delicious.
I have to say, I'm not a big dessert eater. This is phenomenal.
You know why? It's not that sugary
It's not
frosting. It's
oversweet.
buttercream.
It's
It's yummy.
Yep.
It is good.
I'm
I think
such a fan of hers, and she's just she's down to earth. She's like, you know, we're talking giving back to the community and everything. It's just great.
they do wedding cakes too.
Yep.
They do other things. You know, they don't. It's not just
She has a whole
menu.
She gave me a whole menu.
That's awesome.
They're right out. They're near your office.
Yep, right there. And I usually get every year I get
Yeah,
a small because
tarts.
you can buy a small cake, a big
Cheese
cake,
bake.
but you can buy a small sort of miniaturized version. Like I would say for 2 people. So every year I get a cake for my anniversary for my husband. and I.
nice.
So I mix it up.
Birthday and shower cakes.
You know what? I just wanted to say, I was watching the news recently, and I saw this most adorable thing. This woman who was celebrating her 106th birthday
Really?
at the White House yesterday.
And her dream.
Yeah. Oh my God! Can
Her
you
passion,
imagine?
her dream was to
She
meet the
showed
president.
up, and she's there with. You know, the president and his wife, and she's dancing
Oh, I loved it.
at
So cute.
106.
Oh my God, was she alive when Roosevelt was in? I think about how many presidents she's gone through.
And more.
And she said
it
she
took her
never
this
thought
long to
she'd
meet
ever
somebody.
get into the White House ever, and she really didn't believe that she'd ever see a black president, and so she was just so touched.
Yeah.
It was.
She kept saying, "I'm part of history."
Oh my goodness.
She is part of history.
She has seen it all.
Yeah.
That's so
she's
great.
seen
And
it all.
how awesome is that he took the time to meet with her?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, my grandmother, who died at 105, Mary, she used to say, they were like, well, what about life did you see? And she's like, I watched skirts go up and down and up and down over the years. You know, right? The trend.
You know, that supposedly is that earmarks the trends in the stock market too.
Yeah?
The skirts.
Yeah, the skirts. There's some
Ooh,
correlation.
so we up or down?
So I don't know.
Oh,
What are we up down?
Maxis
What are
are
we-
still down.
I think they're going down.
Dresses and skirts
I think
are
skirts are
still-
going down because
I
they've been
think
up.
when stocks go down, skirts go up, or something like that.
Oh, we're going to have to find that out.
Yeah, I'll have to
I
research
want to
that.
find that out.
Whatever they're doing, they better
That's your
turn
homework.
around.
Does the skirts drive it or the stock market?
Well, it's been so great. Thank you so much for stopping by. Take the cake. This is
Thank you,
yummy.
Nancy. Thank you, Nancy.
And thank you,
Thanks to
Ronnie.
Ronnie. Yay!
Thank you, Ronnie. It was awesome. You are an inspiration. Now we're gonna
Cheers
go home
to
and
us
get
all.
everything done. But
Cheers.
Cheers.
Just saying. Cheers.
Just saying.